Today's podcast question is about how to manage CPM by country. Let's go.
Hi, John. This is Martina from Cambridge in the UK, and I have a podcast question about CPM. I run ads in both the UK and US. My CPM in the US is usually double the UK for exactly the same ads. I like to understand why the CPM is double in the US and whether that means that I should allocate a double budget to it.
This is a great question, Martina. So CPM is cost per 1,000 impressions. In other words, this is the cost to have your ads shown. And the CPM is going to be different by country. So Martina has noted that CPM in the US is double that of the UK. Now, I did a little bit of digging on this to see what others are reporting, and this appears to be consistent with overall trends. Meta doesn't provide official stats on this, but the average CPM in the US seems to be just over $20, while the average CPM in the UK is closer to $10. Of course, CPM is driven by several factors beyond the country, including the industry, performance goal, your ads, and overall competition. So that's going to vary. But let's assume a roughly $20 CPM in the US and $10 CPM in the UK. That means that $20 can get you either 1,000 impressions in the US or 2,000 impressions in the UK. Now, that's not necessarily a problem in and of itself. CPM is only one element related to your final costs and profitability. CPM is the highest in the US due to competition, and that could be reflected in a higher conversion rate and return on ad spend. It could be, of course, but isn't necessarily. And advertisers in the UK have experienced regulatory challenges lately related to location fees and ad-free subscriptions. So one question I have is whether Martina is combining the US and UK in the same ad set or not. If combined, there's not necessarily anything you need to do. Meta should balance the costs and conversion rates involved for both countries to get you the most results overall. You're unlikely to spend equally in each country since it should be driven by the number of conversions you can get. But if you've separated these countries into their own ad sets, that's where you may want to address the budgets. And as I always say, you should let results be your guide. Are you getting a similar number of conversions from each ad set? Are the results meaningful, or are you finding that performance in the US is far more limited? Without knowing exactly how you've structured things, I'll say this. If overall conversion volume and stability are a problem, I'd combine the countries into the same ad set. At that point, I wouldn't be particularly concerned about how much my budget goes to the US and how much goes to the UK. And that assumes, of course, you don't have important business goals for each country. While splitting these countries up can be useful, it's mainly to create ads that are more relevant to people in each country. And that's really only for the situation where you have enough budget to split things up and continue to get meaningful results. And if that's the case, it would be completely plausible that you may need to spend more to get the same number of results from the US as in the UK. I'd also consider the cost per result and overall value of those conversions, of course. Thanks for your question, Martina. I hope this helps. You want your question to be answered on a future episode? Send it my way. Go to johnloomer.com/question and record your question today. You may just be featured on a future podcast. Otherwise, thanks for joining me again today. Until next time, do awesome things. I'm out.